Well, Jack, we've just had the first official announcement from the FAW with regards to Prosiect Cymru. Can you just give us a bit of insight in terms of the timeline? Why does this feel like a good time to release a bit of news about the project?
Yeah, there's been a number of people working very hard on this behind the scenes for the second half of 2024 heading into 2025 in terms of discussing what these projects could look like. What we revealed today with our Cymru Premier clubs as well as other stakeholders. We just feel it's a really good opportunity to start the year 2025 with what we believe is some really positive news on how we're going to drive forwards Welsh football and unite, in particular, our high-performing clubs together to create something which we think is very unique, but more importantly, can have massive, massive impacts on the whole of the Welsh football ecosystem.
Yeah, it's been described as a step closer to bringing the project to life. So tell us a bit of exactly where we're at and how hopeful are you that we're going to see this project happen in a season or two?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's lots of dialogue going on with a lot of external bodies, a lot of other governing bodies, UEFA, the FA, the EFL, the Premier League, to get us into the position now where we're very comfortable with what we're putting forward to the FA to make a decision upon. Obviously, we're talking around a body which has 4 clubs in their competition. They've got to also be aligned with the project outcomes and what we're trying to achieve here. But we've had some really exciting conversations with UEFA, with Welsh Government and UK Government on why this would benefit Wales in its entirety. So we've got a few more hurdles to get over with the FA, but we believe that now is the right time to put our best foot forward and ensure that Welsh football is able to be really put in the spotlight from this.
Yeah, tell us a bit more about those hurdles with the FA, the Premier League, for example. What conversations are being had, and do you see them supporting this? Have you had any dialogue in terms of that?
Yeah, look, we've had really professional, positive conversations to date around this. We understand from their perspective they will be looking at fair play from their leagues and in perspective around finances that come in through potential winners of the new revamped FAW League Cup. We also know that fixture scheduling is something that's at the forefront of everyone's mind at the moment, but we've been able to provide answers and reassurances to all of the questions that have been put forward to us. So we believe that we've got ourselves in a position where things which may be seen as problems or challenges, I should say, we've got solutions for to ensure that there shouldn't be any blockages put in this pipeline for Wales to really flourish on a European stage in club football.
In terms of the financial side of things, it's mentioned £3 million financial boost gets mentioned. Is that £3 million per season or £3 million over a period of time financially? How do you think this could look like?
Yeah, it's exactly that. We're estimating it's around £3 million per season. So that would be made up of monies distributed from UEFA competition. It's really important that there might be years where EFL clubs do not win this. We're not giving away a place to one of the teams that play in the EFL. We're giving the opportunity for all of our elite clubs to go and compete with this and play against each other and generate their own finances by going to and hosting clubs, hosting EFL clubs potentially. It's £3 million a year, and that's built up, as I said, from European money, but also the new commerciality around the game, new potential broadcasting around the game. This is a product which people are going to be hopefully really excited with and want to interact with, and it's something different. And so we want to build this sustainable income. It's not about 1 or 2 seasons to be able to put some money into the game and then we have to take it back out. This is about building legacy off of this. So as you'd have seen off of the press releases today, yes, it's about investing heavily in the JD Cymru Premier, absolutely. But this enables us to do more around our Adran leagues, around our grassroots game. It really enables us to build out this Welsh football ecosystem to ensure that for generations to come can really enjoy the fruits of the work that's happened hopefully in the next coming years.
And of course, that all-important, the coefficiency as well, in terms of the broader picture of making sure that those 4 European spots, that they are a constant thing, that we're not losing spots. How important is that when it comes to Prosiect Cymru as well?
It's massive. We've got one of the largest differences between where our international team is ranked versus where our club game is ranked. And what's also really important is you look at what TNS have done this season. This isn't about us trying to find a way to park our JD or our Cymru Leagues clubs in Europe. This is about getting JD Cymru League clubs into European league stages consistently, and if there are seasons where an EFL club also goes on that journey, Wales is going to absolutely benefit from that, from its profile, for our whole of our game, for the investment coming in from all of our game. So actually this is about us trying to find a way to get 2 clubs every single year competing in that league stage, because I think we all want to see Welsh flag being flown in Europe, and we want Welsh clubs representing Wales when it comes to European football.
Of course, the recent news, it's just an update. It sounds like there's still a long way to go. But what would your message be to, I guess, anyone who's unsure, uncertain, perhaps reading this and in terms of the domestic game is, not a fan, basically? What would your message be?
And I think that's also really important, is that there are so many people out there that care about their own football club and will see things through the lens of their own football club. I very much see myself as a club man in terms of the background that I've come from. But I think what's really important here, the decisions that we're trying to make here are always with the best interest of Wales in mind. Our game is in a really great place at the moment in terms of some of the developments that have happened in the last 12 months, the direction of travel that we've set out to go. The Premier Cup historically has shown an element of how this has worked historically with with VFL clubs being part of something like this. There's an element of bringing that back into our game, but also building upon that and what we now learn from why that didn't work, or maybe the successes that fell down, and being able to ensure that we've got this really modernised, really interesting product which connect people from all over Cymru to be able to go and see our top flight Welsh domestic clubs with the top flight English EFL clubs come together. I think that creates a really unique opportunity for people to see things that are different, get excited about things that are different, and ultimately the winner of that competition go and make memories like we've seen this year with TNS out in Fiorentina and places like that.
You've had, just looking back, at the history of the League Cup, I believe it's 4 clubs from Tier 2 have made the final in the last 10 years. Can you just talk us a bit about what this would mean for those Tier 2 clubs, I guess the opportunity or lack of opportunity perhaps this could provide them?
I am fully aware of that, and there's only so many things we can cram into obviously the statement today. This is absolutely our intent, is that there is going to be a third cup competition that we look to bring into our own domestic football calendar, which brings in the Tier 2 clubs. My views on this would be bringing in the Cymru Premier clubs who are not participating in Europe that season, as well as extending the wild card and under 21 opportunity to the EFL clubs and others potentially to come into it. So we want to have something that absolutely replaces this. The Nathaniel MG Cup, without that full name, is the Cymru Premier Cup. That's what it's historically been known as. And so our job is to make sure that we aren't actually putting barriers in the way for any of the other clubs who may not be in this new revamped competition, but can still provide an environment where they feel very closely connected to their peers around them and have a competition structure that enables them to get new experiences and new things from the game, which hopefully propels clubs in Tier 2 in particular on a journey towards being a future Cymru Premier club.
Finally, Jack, in terms of the timeline, is there a deadline where you'd like to get this over the line, or what do the next few months look like in terms of discussions, etc.?
Yeah, as you can imagine, it's absolutely full on at the moment. I would like to think that we have done the governance bit externally in the next couple of months to be able to then share what a true timeline then looks like for implementation and what things look like in terms of the real detail. We've got to go back to, really importantly, we've got to go back to our Cymru Premier clubs with the final details of this. When we all met in September, this is when we flirted this project with them. There was a unanimous agreement that the concept of this project was the right thing to do to drive our game forwards. I've now got to return to the table post approvals with all of those details to ensure that everyone in this process is really happy and feel that they're being looked after with this. So that will unfold over the coming months, and I'm sure we'll be able to say more kind of into Q2 of 2025.